Why detachment changes everything. Nobody teaches you this. Some might explain how to communicate better, how to be more confident, how to chase your goals, how to go get it. But nobody teaches you how to let go. Letting go is what changes everything, especially in my life. Learning and understanding the art of detachment is what helped me in my journey. Because I didn't feel more powerful when I tried harder. I became powerful when I stopped gripping so tightly. Women, friends, opinions, outcomes, validation. When I loosened my grip, my life got quieter. And somehow, it got better. So in today's video, I'm going to explain to you why and how that actually applies into real life. Let's understand the difference. The thing is that most individuals, including myself growing up, is that we try to grip everything, right? People are living life gripping relationships, gripping identity, gripping control, gripping people's perception, right? Example being, you grip a woman because you don't want to lose her. You grip friends because you don't want to be left out. You grip attention because you don't want to feel invisible. But the tighter you grip, the more anxious you become. Detachment isn't pushing them away. It's relaxing your grip. It's understanding that not everything needs to be gripped, be controlled. Because when you stop gripping outcomes, your nervous system changes. You think clearer, you move slower, you react less. That alone shifts your entire presence. Let's talk about women first. When I used to be attached, I was reactive. If she took longer to reply, I felt it. I felt that shit. If her tone shifted, I noticed. If she pulled back, I analyzed. That's attachment. That's a big problem because attachment turns small shifts into emotional storms. Now there's so much going on, you're in chaos mode. But when I detached, something strange happened. I didn't text less to manipulate. I didn't ignore it to play games. I just completely stopped monitoring. F it. Stop measuring, stop calculating. Stop trying to control how she felt about me. Because I am who I am. You are who you are. People will love you. People will hate you. You would be insane if you think everybody here on earth, regardless of what you do, will love you, will accept you, will think of you, right? You have to understand, some people create you in their mind. You are an enemy. Some people you are a hero. Some people you are a good person. Some people you are a terrible person. Do you see how this correlates? No matter what you do. I want that to be clear. So you would be a fool. Maybe you don't realize this because you don't put yourself out there. You are in your own bubble. You're in your own world, right? But once you start realizing how the world works, you would be insane. Matter of fact, you are insane if you think that everybody will. There's always, that's the thing about humans. There's always a problem. No matter what, somehow, some way, they're going to try to find or squeeze in a way to not like you. That's just how it is, right? I don't think like that. When I see things that, it's like, I don't let it get to me. I don't try to see the negative out of somebody. I try to look at it at a different perspective because I understand that life is all about perception. It's all about perspective as well. So you have to understand that how you view someone, you don't know what they went through. You don't know but people don't care about that, right? Let's keep it real. People don't give a F about that. Majority people. Just understand, the moment you stop chasing reassurance, conversations will start to feel lighter. Interactions start to feel more neutral. Pressure would be removed, and that's evident, and that's shown by your energy. Women respond to pressure, and detachment removes it. It equates to you're not desperate, you're not tense, you're not trying to secure anything. What's meant for you will find its way to you. You're just there. And that calm presence changes how you're perceived. When I started to implement this in my life, especially when it came to women, I started completely ignoring all of them. I know many of you guys seen that video why ignoring her works. But I took it to another level. Some might think it's extremist, but I had to sit down and realize at one point in my life, because regardless of what anybody says, yes, you are more attractive. Women will find you more attractive when you are in shape, when you are in this. I've realized in all stages of my life, when I was a musician, right? I used to be in the studio up until 2 a.m. while I was in classes in college, right? On my free time. And, not as disciplined, because I'm trying to juggle a lot of things. And then when you're a musician, especially when you're an artist, like a rapper or something, your bad influences are around you. So I was given into temptations. I was partaking in things that I shouldn't have, like drinking, like stupid ass stuff, right? And I realized slowly that I didn't have a problem with it when I was going out, attracting women. Maybe because of my confidence, because of my energy felt different, because when you are in this mindset, I was a completely whole different person. I wasn't who I naturally was. I wasn't being my fully authentic self because I was in artist mode, right? So you have to move a certain way. You have to, especially when you perform, because perception is important. That's why you see artists who are mysterious, who are, just like all that fake shit, right? So I realized when I was not in shape, when I was just maybe stood out, I didn't have a problem with attracting women, or because I looked different, I stood out. When I got more disciplined, I realized how much harder it was, because now I feel like my status level went up because of my presence. I moved completely different now compared to how I was maybe 5, 6 years ago. And I realized how intimidating that can be for some females, because now it was easier to approach you when you're out of shape, when you're looking like, you're a mess, or you're just in a whole different, you're just different from the majority. So it was more easier, I would like to say, especially when cold approaching or this, that. And I noticed they would approach more in that phase of my life. But when you get more disciplined, this is the truth that many won't tell you, because for whatever reason, but that you will start to realize how more fallback they are. They won't really approach. Yes, they still will, right? I'm not gonna lie to you, like they don't approach me, but it wasn't as much as before. And I realized it because I treat myself now with a higher standard because of my discipline. So when you start getting more discipline, people who would normally have pulled up on you before, well, not so much, because they don't know what you're thinking. They don't know how you perceive them, because your discipline is shown. It's visible. You don't even have to say a word. That's why I always say you are attracting based off self-image. So a girl that's feeling you, and she looks at you and you're just like completely in shape, you look like you don't play no games, right? They are gonna find it a little bit difficult to, give you the signs or this, that, because they immediately think you're checked out. You're not even paying her no mind. Maybe you're taken, you're this, that. So you slowly start to realize that. But when I stopped going on dating apps, when I stopped playing these games, because I noticed the difference, because I used to be on it in different phases of my life, and I realized how easier it was back then, and then now it's like they're playing more games, now they're putting me through tests, because they automatically assume now that I have way more options because of just how I present myself, right? And then when you start to see yourself elevate, right, when I truly believe if you stay disciplined, if you're always in shape, you will be successful in life, because you know what it takes to keep going. You know what it takes to keep going when you don't see results, and then you will see results. So then you naturally become more successful in life, right? When it comes to money, business, whatever it is. And you will realize that now they're putting you in these games. I wasn't being put in these tests back then. It was just easier. It was easier. But it's because you are now something that they look for. Before, they're looking at you like a hookup or a one night. So now they're looking at you like they want you to be long term. And I realize this. Now the girls that I would be talking to years ago would like want to take this further. Like they're not giving me the same vibe when I know they're going to just link up with another dude. So I was like, yo, I'm not going to get punished because of my discipline. So I realized, like, let me just stop all this shit. This is all waste of my time. So I completely detached. Let me just ignore all of them and just stay focused, because I realized it was to a point where I would talk to a girl and she's always assuming you must have options, you must do this, that. They were trying to make it hard to link up now, and I'm just looking, I'm like, this is crazy. So it's like the more successful I got, the more harder it gets. I'm good off that. So I was like, let me try detaching. Let me just get off social media. Let me just get off everything and just focus on me, right? I don't have to play these games. I never used to have to play these games, right? So, and I wasn't trying to settle down at the time. So once I detached and just focused on my life and let what's come to, I realized opportunities were coming to me now, instead of me chasing them, instead of me pursuing them. I'm not saying you're chasing if you're on apps, but you're in a way, you're partaking in it because you are on the app for a reason. So when I completely stop, and it's been years now, right? Maybe if I travel somewhere and I really just want, build a connection or just find a friend or something, I might go on it, right? But for the most part, I don't need to, because I can just cold approach. I've mastered cold approach now. I realized once I started ignoring women, my life only elevated. And it became easier to, right? But harder because of temptations. And once I realized, whoa, this is one of the biggest downfall for men, because this is the easiest way to get distracted. Once I started to do that, now instead of checking out girls when you're with the guys, how they're always checking when she walks by, I don't even pay no mind. And they're looking at me, yo, you good? You didn't see that? I'm like, yo, I'm good. But you slowly start to realize how undisciplined a lot of people are, because they can't do that. They have to check her out. You can notice this from anybody you're with. Once I shifted my mindset, now if I'm at the gym, girl that's looking super attractive, you know what they be wearing, I don't even take a peek. Yes, they will desire you more when you move like that. I promise you they will. But that was never my intention. My intention was like, I don't want distractions. I've already moved. I got to where I'm at now because of me ignoring them, right? Not saying you have to go and do some weird stuff now, right? I'm just saying you're laser focused on your mission, because now you realize you kind of awakened. And maybe you're too young to realize this, right? But once you start getting older, mature, you'll start to realize, especially once you wake up, that a lot of this is fake. Everything. So for me, the biggest thing that was holding me back was women. Just focusing on them, dates, this, that, especially when you have options, when you're always just going out with women. So I realized once I stopped giving them my energy, my time, my whole life changed. And it was always the ones that I wanted to take seriously that weren't reciprocating the same energy. So I was like, all right, so if I can't be in a relationship, and me at the time, I didn't like playing games. I didn't like going through loops. Yes, I could have probably retained her, but I'm not gonna do all that, right? And my perspective, like, if I can't have her, nobody can have me. That's the type I am. I'm that. If I can't have what I want, I'm not gonna settle for less. So I told men, never settle. Know your worth. Stay on your mission. Stay on your purpose. What's good for you will find its way to you, right? And if not, who cares? Who gives a F, right? A lot of people are stuck in relationships because they are trying to give off this image. They don't like and then you see them going spiraling downhill. Now they hate their life. Now they're listening to BS. Now they're starting to hate everything. And they're confused. They're lost, right? They're stuck. So once I completely ignore them, everything in my life changed. If you can master this, you will literally manifest, you will attract nothing but good things. You will start to notice how everything starts chasing you. And it's going to take a lot of discipline. It starts off with the simple not even looking at her when she walks by. Why do I say that? Because the dude that has to go and check out every girl that walks by is the same dude that's running to get home, to get on that laptop and get that lotion out, right? Because they don't have control. They can't control themselves. My outlook is, why would I look at her if I'm not going to talk to her? For what? To go and look at that? For what? Why? What good does that do for me? I can't have that. Why would I even partake or even give my attention to, or let her know? She's not the prize. I am. So now I start to realize they're looking at me now where I go. Do you see the difference? You have to understand too, because a man that can't control himself cannot control anything in life. A man that cannot control himself is destined for disaster. That is as simple as not taking a peek. And you will slowly start to see, once you go down this rabbit hole, how dangerous you become. Because now things cannot control you. People can't control you. Influences, outside influence can't control you. Now the media, whatever they're trying to push down your face, they can't control you. Because the biggest way how they control men is lust. Whether you know it or not, that's why in movies they have girls advertising in this type of way, or in ads, or whatever it is. Because they know many men probably don't get some. Many men who do get some still are just horny or whatever, and you start to realize life through a different perspective. Now you're realizing, whoa, a lot of everything what they're saying is just BS. So I'm not saying don't, talk to any woman. It's illegal, now it's forbidden. Like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying instead of giving my time, my energy into things that doesn't raise my vibration, that doesn't elevate me, that doesn't, because hanging out with all the women, being on this dates every day, like, it's all fun, right? You look back and you had a good time. It was all good, but you can also ruin your life by going down the wrong path. So staying focused, really just staying focused on your own goals, your own life, being completely detached from the propaganda will change your life. The thing is that many men know this, many guys know this, but it's the strength to do it. Many people are not willing to. That's why I always say, if you really want something, you can achieve it. Ask and you shall receive. The thing is that many don't want to go to certain limits, don't want to go to extremist measures to get what they want, to stay really locked in, right? Everybody says they want to get locked in, let's stay locked in, but they're not really moving like it. Let's transition now how detaching from friends makes a huge difference. This is something that most people won't admit. Friends. There was a time where I felt obligated to respond to every friend, felt bad for not going out, right? I'm talking about every message, every invite, every opinion. If I didn't show up, I felt guilty, right? Every opinion from what they're telling me about my goals or I overthought it. That's attachment too. Attachment is being liked. Attachment is being included. As soon as I detached from all that, my schedule opened up, my standards rose, my focus sharpened. Not because I cut everybody off, but because I stopped feeling responsible for maintaining every connection. Real friends don't disappear because you protect your time. And for some of us, we need to go. Some of us, we need to not have communication. For me, in my instance, I know many people probably think of me as an enemy or as fake. But why do I care? These type of friends were not helping me elevate. When I got successful, you can see the energy change. You can see how people are kind of the animosity, the jealousy or whatnot. And I realized I got to where I'm at because of myself. Nobody helped me. There was no handouts. But listening to what they have to say was literally shrinking my confidence, changing my perception of myself. Until I sat back and realized in my life, how I achieved my goals was literally blocking out all outside noises. Going ghost. Silence. This is why I'm very big on silence, because many people, you'll realize this, cannot stand alone by themselves in their own thoughts for more than a couple hours without re-engaging with company, right? They love to spread this message, this narrative that you must be with friends at all times. Humans were meant to socialize, or it's all BS, right? And I'm not saying to never speak to anybody, to don't have friends. Yes, one or two people that are like-minded that actually want to see you win, but you have to understand, people say that, but they know they're lying. Not everybody wants to see you win. It's always going to be people that you really don't know, people that are not from your town. That's reality. That's what they don't want to admit. Certain people just want you around because they want to keep your energies with them. They want to harvest it. They want to play these games. They want to feed their information to kind of shrink your confidence because they don't have that confidence in themselves. That's what many of you guys don't realize. And you're hanging out with these people who talk behind your back. That was the biggest sign for me that I had to fall back. When I'm hanging out with someone and they have to always constantly talk about another person that they're probably even more close to than they are with me. But it was like always negative. And I would always think, and I would never say it for a while until I just had the curtain. I was like, man, let's stop talking about it. I didn't want to look like that one guy but I said, fuck it. Yo, let's stop talking about this guy. Why we always bringing him, why you guys bringing him down? Let's uplift him. As soon as I said that, I'll never forget the looks on their faces. Looked at me like, oh, wow, he has a point. Yeah, you're right. Then it hit me. I was like, why am I hanging out with these people? Why? The fact that I had to say that and the fact that I held it in for so long shows that these people are doing the same thing behind my back. These people are have no desire. They have no purpose. They don't know what they're doing here. So what they resort to doing is talking about others, right? Spreading information that doesn't need to be. I don't need to hear that. I don't need to know this person got married that I haven't spoke to in 5 years. Why is that any of my concern? Why do I need to know this person got in an accident, this person did this, lost his job or something? Like, what does that have to do with me? Why are we talking down on somebody, right? Why are we not uplifting them, right? That's the thing. Many of you guys hang out with these type of guys and you partake in this type of environment, then you get mad when things are not going your way. That's why I'm big on the energy that you put out will find its way to you. Many people don't believe in that, but I'm telling you from experience, it will happen. You having the courage, you being a man and standing on it and saying, yo, I'm good off that. I'm good off that, bro. And then the best thing you can do is actually not even communicate anything. Say less. Just move completely different, right? And if it has to result to blocking people, if it results to no communication, they take it offense. I don't care if you've known them for over a decade, right? I realized when I made that jump, when I made that shift, my life changed, right? From career-wise, from opportunity-wise, health-wise, fitness-wise, everything. Literally anything you can think about. Now I'm living the life I wanted to live, right? Because I'm not having people doubting me on this side, having people telling me I can't do it, you're tripping, do this instead. How about I do what I want to do? How about I don't want to listen to what they got to say about this person? How about let's spread love, positivity, but I don't want to sound like that dork in the group chat. So I was like, let me exit the group chat, right? Now they're reinserting me back in. Fine, I'll block all y'all motherfuckers, right? Now I don't want to sound like an extremist, but it's to the point where you have to realize you have one chance. You have one shot. This is your life. You don't have to go on autopilot and listen to what other people are telling you how you're supposed to live your life. You will realize this when you experience life-death situations. I'm not trying to gain sympathy or anything. I don't need that from anybody. But I've been in a couple that I've realized, whoa, my time here is limited. I cannot waste another day. I don't have time to waste another second, minute. I don't care about what they got going on. To the point where I had to miss certain events, this, that, because I'm so laser focused. And the moment I did this years ago, you will, and I will be honest with you, people will, you are probably going to be a bad guy in a lot of people's point of view, right? Even though you didn't say a word, right? Now, when I say detach from friends, I'm saying don't leave on bad terms. Never. Always leave in a positive light and let them run with their own assumptions. Let them. When I did this on social media, maybe after college, or maybe I think my last year in college, I've noticed everybody was posting. I was still in college for an extra year, my 5th year, my first summer school I've ever done in my life. And I remember just seeing it every day on Instagram and just saying, like, man, everybody's doing their own thing. I'm still, and I remember I was just like, man, I can't keep living like this. Like, are we supposed to always be in competition? Once I completely detached and removed everybody that I knew, because it wasn't out of jealousy or it did inspire me, but it only told me I can't think like this. I can't think because I was having doubt. You should be ashamed of yourself, right? Because I had to realize that everybody's journey is different in life. There's people who are still in school for 7 years, people who didn't go to school. I was even blessed to go to school. There's so many different aspects, right? When you're always, comparison is a thief of joy. When you're always in comparison of this person, that you will never be truly happy for people, right? You will never really find that peace. So I remember when I did this years ago on social media, because I was like, I don't really care about what this person is doing. I really don't. So why do I gotta follow them? Why? Am I weird for that? I don't care. They don't inspire me in any way. They don't encourage me. They don't reciprocate the same love I give to them. For what? So understand that real friends don't punish you or don't get upset for you protecting your time. Only insecure connections do. And when those fade, peace replaces noise. I promise you, once you realize that not everybody is your friend, right? Many people will prioritize friends over family, over their future, over their business, over their career. falling for this illusion that because they are in the same place that I am, we should be aligned, we should be hanging out together. No, no, no. You can break it. You can break the cycle. It starts with you. It starts with isolating yourself. It starts with sitting back and analyzing and saying, okay, I'm tired of doing this, XYZ, with this group of people. It's limiting my growth. You have to look at it like that, and you have to be honest with yourself. And if you're the problem, you have to self-reflect. You got to look in the mirror and say, maybe it's on me. Maybe I need to fall back. And sometimes it's not about them. Sometimes it's about prioritizing yourself and realizing you have no time to waste, right? Because as a man, nobody is coming to save you. Many understand this. You should understand this, right? So you have to look at it like, if these people are not on the same mindset as I am, you cannot associate yourself with them, no matter how bad they take it. And this correlates to detaching from validation. This is a major one because everybody wants to be respected, right? From needing approval, from needing agreement, from needing recognition. When you live your life attached to validation, you shape your behaviors around reactions. You say things for applause. You move based on feedback. You hesitate because of criticism. As soon as you detach from validation, you instantly move from conviction. Nothing matters. You post whatever the fuck you want to post, right? You stay true to yourself. You don't care if they accept it or not, because the right people will accept you. The right people will understand you, will correlate with you. You don't need everybody to understand you. And I've made this clear off the jump from my channel, that many people will misunderstand you. Your job is not to be liked by everybody. You'd be crazy if you think everybody in this world is supposed to appreciate you or like you or respect you. There are certain people, and you can think about this growing up as a kid, that just seemed like you and this person just never got along, right? You guys probably have mutual friends. Everybody, it's like no matter what, it seems like it was always, right? Whether it led to arguments, whether somebody just hating for no reason, or that should have made you wake up and realize, oh, some people are just like that. There's no changing them. Why bother? Why? Right? We can wish the best for them. We can pray for them. But detach. Don't even engage. I've realized quickly, especially when you are successful, especially when you are someone that you just attract women, maybe you are an athlete, you will slowly start to realize that people just hate on you for whatever, just because of your charisma, your presence. Simple as it could be as simple as just your presence. It makes certain people uncomfortable because maybe they don't have confidence, maybe they don't like how you attract certain things. Maybe they don't like the way you work hard, you are dedicated, you are disciplined. It bothers them because they don't have that, or they don't know how to ask you for advice. So instead of appreciating and asking for help, they rather hate, because they made up in a scenario, they made up an idea of who you are based off whatever they came up to in their mind, right? Detach from these type of, this is why detaching from validation is crucial, because you will slowly start to realize that you can't control everything. That's why I always say, focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can control. Your energy will flow wherever you focus goes. If you stay laser focused on your goals, if you stay laser focused on things that you need to be doing, only the right things will be, and then you live freely. You do what you want. You don't care if they like it or not. You don't care if they accept you or not. You don't need immediate reassurance. That will make you dangerous in a calm manner, because now your decisions are not being influenced by the fear of approval. They're aligned with who you are. The most powerful one I want you guys to understand is that detaching from outcomes. This is probably the most significant one, because you can want something, right? That's normal, right? There's a difference between wants and needs. You can want something without emotionally collapsing if it doesn't happen. You can pursue someone without needing them to choose you. Does that make sense? You can build something without tying your identity to immediate success. When you detach from outcomes, you will slowly realize that you perform better. Now you're carefree. It seems like you're moving elegant. It seems like you're moving just on a flow state, because fear leaves your body. Now you're not acting from anxiety. You're acting from alignment. And alignment is powerful. Alignment is the real true test in this world. I promise you that. It's going to go over a lot of people's heads. They will slowly realize this sooner or later in life. Everything you do, every second, every minute, every hour, dictates your reality, dictates your future, how you want. That's why I'm big on, if you watch all the way to this end of this video, it might sound excessive, but I'm saying this because I want you to win. And I'm giving you from a real life experience of how my life has played out. When I mastered detachment, here's what changed. To sum it up, I stopped overthinking connections. I stopped overthinking conversations. I stopped waiting on people. That's a big one, right? Instead of waiting on people to fake last minute, I said, you know what? I'm going to go do what I want, regardless of what people say. And that immediately shifted my whole perspective on life, because I was always one that I wanted to wait to everybody to be down. You know, you're trying to make it work in the group chat. It never just seems to leave the group chat. People are just saying this and that, not being real with themselves, not being real, transparent with you. Then I realized, why do I have to wait? I'm a man at the end of the day. If I want something, go get it. I stopped feeling urgency to fix miscommunications, misunderstandings about myself. I chose to stop explaining myself to those who are committed to misunderstanding me. Does that make sense? There are certain people that no matter what you do, no matter what, no matter how good you do, no matter how much you help, it doesn't matter. They want you to be a villain in their eyes. You are a villain in their world, and that's just how it is, and don't even bother. Immediately when I implemented these routines, immediately when I implemented these habits, immediately when I implemented this into my mindset, my framework of how I view a life, my relationships improved, my focus drastically improved, my mental clarity improved. And ironically, the less I needed things to go a certain way, the more it did, right? And this is not because of magic. It's because my energy shifted. I'm living in true alignment now. There was no tension in me, no matter how people perceived it. And people respond differently to tension-free energy. So understand that detachment is strength, not distance. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't cling. You let what meant for you find its way to you. You flow. You're in a flow state of mind. You are moving in alignment. You have a goal. You see yourself in 6 months. Every day you are moving like it. You wake up no matter what, even if you don't see the results, because you know in the back of your mind. That's why I tell you guys, when you want something, you have to move accordingly. When I say you have to act like you already have it, you have to literally move like that guy. Move like that man that already has it. Because if you already have it, you're going to keep doing the same routine that got you to where you're at. You will notice this in whatever field, whether you're in sports, musician, doesn't matter, career. You will know the habits that got you to where you're at. So you're going to keep doing it to reach new heights, right? To repeat the same and to grow. So it all starts with that belief in yourself. That's why I'm big on detachment. That's why I'm big on, you don't need this many friends. You don't need people, because when you are silent, when you go ghost, when you literally sit in silence, when you are comfortable in silence, nothing can block your subconscious thoughts. This is the most powerful and the most meaningful video I have to say, because this will change your whole life. If you allow certain things or people, even if they are joking, to enter your thoughts, because consciously, yeah, you believe in yourself, you know you can do it, right? But it's like you go before an event or before a meet, or before a game, and you know that feeling, those butterflies in your stomach, just like doubts and you can't do it. You have to bully yourself. You have to literally like, fuck all that shit. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna dominate. I put in the work. I know exactly what I'm gonna do, right? But when you hang out with certain people that tell you because you have a high goal, like it sounds bizarre, right? You have to be delusional. The only way you can keep that is by blocking out outside noises. And the fastest way is to isolate yourself. Because if you really believe in it, you will achieve it. By implementing your routine, by staying disciplined, by not listening. That single doubt, that single person joking or telling you can't do it, have a more humble dream, have a more reasonable, like you're tripping, you're wilding, that's impossible. That's gonna stop your growth. I guarantee you that. And this is what successful people probably don't tell you guys, or maybe they charge you for, that I'm gonna tell you freely. This is why I'm against that. You need to have always in communication with friends. You need to always be with friends. That's not how it works, man. You need to go full in. You got to go all the way in. If it doesn't work out, I promise you, you will find something else. Something else will click. From that hard work, from that grit, you will awaken another. I'm telling you. So understand that detachment is just simply you walk away from drama. You don't let things disturb your peace. You don't let things come into your mind. You don't let things come into your life and try to get you to react a certain way, the way they want you to react. You react based off what you know you need to do. You react based off your alignment. Meaning you stay calm when things are changing. Meaning you keep putting in the work when nothing is changing. You make adjustments. You analyze. You are moving with clarity now because now you're able to look because you have a set routine. Every day is not a different pattern. It's not going out for drinks one night and then going back to the grind tomorrow and then going to hang out with the girl the next day and then having her ghost you and then now you're playing with your emotions because now she did something and now you're upset. Do you understand the cycle? Do you see why I say being silent and detachment is very vital? Because when nothing can block your blessings, you are unstoppable. The only way you can block your own blessings is truly, and I mean this, is from and by yourself. Is by what you allow around you. What you tolerate. How much you respect yourself. How much you respect your time. How much you trust yourself not to panic. That's strength. And strength is quiet. So just know that if you feel exhausted, it's probably because you're gripping too much. Trying to control too much. Trying to secure too much. Trying to hold on to too much. Loosen your grip. Detach from the outcome. Detach from the validation. Detach from how you try to control how people feel about you, how they perceive you. You still care, but you won't collapse. That's exactly when everything shifts. That's when your life gets quieter, sharper, stronger. Master detachment and watch how different your world feels. I promise you, 1000%. Remember, clarity of mind, discipline, emotion. You got this. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Let go. Be free. Detach. Detach from situations, the outcomes, people. Nothing can stop what's already written. You know what you need to do. Go and do it. Stop caring too much. Stop gripping too much. And just be free. Flow. I guarantee you, right? This is better than any random BS video that's do this to make more money. Like literally do what you need to do. You will see results. I guarantee you this. If you guys like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, share this video with somebody who needs to see this, and watch this video up next. And I'll catch you guys on to the next one, man. Be easy. Love you.